Alright, so since most of us seem to be in agreement that mainstream sports media and the way that they've covered the MVP race this year is one of the many examples of why the NBA has been trash and the ratings has been trash for years now, and by cover the MVP race, I mean like you go to pretty much any of the largest talking heads and pundits on these sports media platforms, the biggest ones in the world, your Stephen A's, your Kendrick Perkins, and some of your other ones, there seems to be this anti-Jokic, pro-SGA, or pro-somebody else narrative that has been running rampant for like 4 or 5 years now, and the fans, we've noticed it. Well, another reason the NBA has been trash is because of the refereeing.
It's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. You know, they really do. They foul all the time. And then, you know, you can't really touch shit.
We deserve a level of respect because we're competing our tails off and bringing something positive to this league, right? We're growing young players. Our young players are competing their tail off. The least that they could do is get the same respect that everybody else in this league gets and get refereed the same way that everybody else in this league gets reffed.
5 techs in the third quarter, Shea goes to the line at least, and I get that he drives the ball a lot, but there have been a lot of guys that drive the ball a lot, and they didn't go to the line as much as do. I mean, dudes shoot sometimes 20 free throws in a game.
We got to talk about the refs, bro. The Pistons and Thunder game a couple of days ago was insane. So you have Cade Cunningham here putting down a move. Lou Dort trips on SGA's foot. The referees did not see this in real time. At some point, for whatever reason, they go back to review the play. For whatever reason, they're reviewing this play to see if it's a hostile play. That right there is already confusing to me. Why are they reviewing it for a hostile play? What did they think could have happened? Like, what could have possibly happened that you didn't catch the first time? I mean, at the most, maybe Cade Cunningham, did the step back and did a push off, which is a very common move. But at the most, that would be an offensive foul, not a flagrant, not a hostile act. But for some reason, they reviewed it for a hostile act. But to their credit, they found that there was nothing hostile about the play. Then you go to the free throw, and for whatever reason, the referees have all the players to stay down to the other end of the court as if the free throw shooter was shooting a technical foul, which wasn't happening. Cade Cunningham noticed this, tells the ref, "What are you doing? We should all be lined up right now. This is not the way it's supposed to be." The referee notices Cade Cunningham is right. We should all the players should be lined up. Cade Cunningham goes, "Hey man, so line us the F up then."
Hate to see another technical coming on the Pistons. So, George, they're going to make themselves have to dig out of an even deeper hole.
That's where everything goes left. The referee hears this, gives Cade Cunningham a technical foul. What is he getting a tech for? Because your feelings was hurt? Because your ego was hurt? Because you was embarrassed that he called you out not only in front of the other players, but also in front of your colleagues? That's not how this works. He used profanity, but not in a way in which where he's like defaming your character. It's not like he called you out of your name. Line us the F up. What is this? There's no women, there's no children on the court. This is a court full of grown men. Why would a player, let alone a star player, which the fans come to see, receive a technical foul for that? But it gets worse. Cade Cunningham is still trying to figure out, why did I get a technical foul for this? What are you doing, bro? What do you want? The referee gives him another technical foul. Cade Cunningham is kicked out of the game. This is unheard of. Look, I know for years, us as fans, we've complained about the refs because from our perspective, it seems that we don't really know what the checks and balance system is to keep refs in check. What do I mean? From our perspective, for many of us, it appears that refs are allowed to make whatever calls they want. There's very little consequences for these calls. The players in their contracts sign this clause where they're not allowed to criticize the refs without being fined. So not only does it appear that refs can do what they want, but they also seem to be this protected class that can't be spoken upon. And of course, this is something the Pistons coach knew and didn't care about. So then he goes out to the game and had this to say.
We deserve a level of respect because we're competing our tails off and bringing something positive to this league, right? We're growing young players. Our young players are competing their tail off. The least that they could do is get the same respect that everybody else in this league gets and get refereed the same way that everybody else in this league gets reffed.
I just want to interrupt for just a sec to say, first of all, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're new to the show, please know we're thirsty to grow and to drink some of this warm water with the lemon. You can help us out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. But don't worry, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to hit that like button for me. Thank you. Please follow us on our other socials as well. Thank you for your support. I will admit, sure, he's probably not the best coach to be advocating for this because, I mean, you kind of got this guy on your team who is notorious for doing things like this. But the point still stands. Now, if you all thought that this was going to be if you're still thinking this is going to be some anti-SGA video and how he gets special calls, that's not what this video is going to be about. So don't even expect that. Because I will say, SGA had, 10 free throw attempts that game, and I believe 5 of them came from 5 technical fouls, by the way, that was called on the Pistons in 1 quarter.
5 techs in the third quarter? Shea goes to the line at least, and I get that he drives the ball a lot, but there have been a lot of guys that drive the ball a lot, and they didn't go to the line as much as do. I mean, dudes shoot sometimes 20 free throws in a game, but JB is absolutely correct. At some point in time, come on now. You just can't be blowing tech. I mean, it said that Cade Cunningham has already said, like, hey, this is not a flagrant foul, so I can get in here when I want to, and they teed him up for that. This was very sharp because he's sending a message for down the road.
Boy, you so far left, you can't get right. You can't get right this morning. First of all, you're wrong, okay? Second of all these coaches and grown men doing all this damn crying Stephen A., what the baby's gonna do?
So he only really had 5 free throws outside of that. So this wasn't one of those outrageous games where he has 10, 15 free throw attempts of calls that other players don't get, but SGA is seeming to get them all of a sudden. But this officiating has just gotten out of hand. You can't give people technical fouls simply because your feelings was hurt. Like, what I wonder is, why is it that a referee can call something that is clearly out of left field, and why can another referee or a couple of other referees notice what happened, clearly see that the technical foul wasn't warranted, and maybe pull that referee off to the side, they huddle up and discuss just in real time, all right, is this a tech we want to rescind? Do we want to keep it as is? Did he really deserve that technical foul? Was it because your feelings hurt? What's the justification for this call? And if we can all vote and agree that it was a good call in real time, we're going to stick with it. If not, we're going to have to rescind it because we're holding ourselves accountable. But they don't even do that. In fact, it's gotten so bad that you're doing stuff like, I remember, you all remember just a few years ago, the Lakers and Celtics game, LeBron goes up for the game-winning layup. He clearly gets fouled by Jason Tatum. Okay, fine. That obvious foul wasn't called or caught by any ref in real time. How do you review the play, but you can't reverse it because it's the last 2 minutes, it's within the last 2 minutes of the game? But then y'all got these silly reports that you release after the game is over and it doesn't matter, it won't make a difference anymore, and you say, we made a mistake. No, Sherlock, yeah, you made a mistake, but what does that do for the players now, other than only infuriate them more? Especially if it's a win where they're fighting to make the playoffs, and you cost them the game. LeBron did everything he was supposed to do there. Jason Tatum did everything he was supposed to do there. He played defense, he fouled him, he stopped him from scoring. Now, this is where the referees come in, and you're supposed to be that mediator. Because over the past 15 years, concerns about the NBA officiating has been highlighted by several key statistics. Between March 2015 and June 2018, the NBA reviewed 26,822 plays from 1,476 close games, defined as games within 3 points in the last 2 minutes. They found 2,197 incorrect calls or non-calls, averaging about 1.49 mistakes per game's final minutes. An analysis revealed that incorrect non-calls occur about 8.4 times more frequently than incorrect calls, suggesting a tendency to let play continue rather than risk making an incorrect call. And then there's home team bias, which didn't help the Pistons in this situation, with their research analyzing 28,388 quarter-level observations over 6 seasons, found that referees tend to favor home teams, teams that are losing during games, and teams trailing in playoff series, potentially influencing game outcomes. We are not here to watch the referees. We're there to watch the players. Even more specifically, we're there to see the star players. So there should be even more warranty that's taken into account when you're officiating star players. I'm not saying necessarily special treatment, so to speak, But you have to take the fans into account because we are not only the ones that are paying and keeping this league alive by coming to see you all in real time, in person, but we pay to watch you all from home. If you're going to not even take us into account and who we want to see watch the game, you're going to continue to lose money and ratings. That's just how it's going to go. I was watching the game a couple of nights ago between the Lakers and the Suns, and as much as we love Luka's game, we all love Luka, I know. But we got to call a spade a spade. Luka was clearly fouled on this play. But the 3-4 refs that's out there, none of them blew the whistle until the ball went through the hoop.
Reeves, Doncic, 5 to shoot, pulls up, scores, and a foul.
Then, all of a sudden, one of them blew the whistle. So let me get this understood. All of you clearly see that he was fouled. But somehow all of you knew not to blow the whistle, not to call the obvious foul until it was obvious and clear that he was going to make the shot. This buys into those conspiracy theorists out there that believe that officiating is 100% a way in which they rig sports. They keep sports in line to fit a particular narrative. You're not helping your claims. The last thing I'll say is it doesn't help when we know referees by their first names. We should know that a Scott Foster is a referee. We should know that you're originally from LA. We should know that you got 2 kids and one of them in college. We should know these things about you. If we know your name as a referee in any sport, it is almost 9 times out of 10, unequivocally almost every single time, for bad reasons. Sure, we as fans complain that the league has become too soft. So I understand the argument that you don't want petty fouls being called. I get it. But we also don't want people to be out there being clotheslined or maniacs like Draymond Green out there elbowing and chokeholding and kicking people between the legs and somehow not being ejected out the game or suspended multiple times for every time he's doing something like that. There should be a middle ground though. And once the referees start officiating in a way where it gets in the way of the game, we have a problem. And if the NBA doesn't do something about this, and I mean by do something about this like 5-10 years ago, you're going to continue to lose fans. Y'all hop in the comment section. Let me know if you agree. Is refereeing another reason that the NBA ratings have been falling for so many years? Do you agree with the points I made? Is there anything you'd like to add? Is there anything differently you feel about it? Hop in the comment section and give me your thoughts, man. I'm Demetrius. I go by DD. That's all for this one. Until next time. Peace.
Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast.